Hello tech friends, today we're going to see just how fast you can type on the Steam Deck, and we've got a couple of tests lined up. One just straight up type in, type it away, and then we're going to have a look and see whether we can get anywhere with the game Typing of the Dead on here, which of course isn't really compatible with the Steam Deck, but it would be an excellent test to see how fast we can type. But first we need a control. This is what we're up against. So this is my DAS keyboard. I've had it for about 5 or 6 years. I've changed all the keycaps. I love this thing. It's really heavy. It's probably too expensive, but I like it. It's got blue switches. That'll mean something to some people out there, I'm sure. What it means to most people is it's just very clacky, which I really like. Okay, so just to cover a couple of typing basics, what you get on most keyboards is a little nubby nodule bit on keys F and J, right? And when I was at school, you learned to touch type by having your fingers, these two fingers, pew pew, the guns on F and J, and then the other fingers sit to the left and right of it, and you're supposed to then use your little finger for things like Q, A, and Z, and then your next one along for W, S, and X, thus meaning that you barely have to move your fingers on the keyboard at all. Now, as time's gone by, I haven't really stuck to that very rigid bit, as you'll see as I start typing this now. So we make our way over to monkeytype.com, monkey see, monkey type, which is a great place to go just to practice your typing. And yeah, this is still a valuable skill, I would say, being able to type stuff quickly. And the dream is really, I think, to be able to type as fast as people talk, and I certainly can't do that. But hey, I'm no slouch. Let's get going. Okay, so that was 118 words per minute with 100% accuracy. What I will say is that's probably about the 4th time I've tried that. So with varying degrees of accuracy. So, you know, that's not too bad. Okay, so we're back on the Steam Deck now. As you can see, I've got the Steam Deck in hand. We're not going to be using the keyboard now for this test. We're back on that Monkey Type website. Let's bring up the keyboard and see if we can actually type in and see how fast we can type. Well, obviously that is a very inconvenient place for the keyboard to appear. Let's just drag this down, and then there we go. We can use our trackpads to actually type in. Okay, off we go. Let's see how fast this is. As you can see, maybe not quite as fast. This particular skin that's on the keyboard, although it looks very cool, slightly distracting because you've got the extent at which the left trackpad can reach on the keyboard, and it doesn't quite line up with these colours. Accuracy, not a problem with that. I've been trying a lot to get faster at typing on this thing, but as you can see, to no avail. Look at this, 13 words per minute with an accuracy of 100%. So a little bit slower, I think you'll agree. Okay, right. What you really want to see, though, is a game running on this thing, right? Let's see what Typing of the Dead is like. Okay, we're back on the Steam Deck, the normal menu system. We're not in desktop mode anymore. Typing of the Dead Overkill. That's going to be the ultimate test for typing on the Steam Deck. I think this game is not really recommended to be played on the Steam Deck, but of course it works perfectly well if you've docked it and you've plugged a keyboard in. Not quite so well with the on-screen keyboard, I suspect. We'll take a look. So just to explain, what is Typing of the Dead, you might be asking yourself. Well, there used to be a game called House of the Dead, which was a light gun game that existed in the arcade initially, and then it was on the Dreamcast. That was a great game, and then this is kind of like a spin-off. Someone thought, there's not enough keyboards in these shooting games, And so a marriage, an unlikely marriage was born. And we've ended up several years later with the Typing of the Dead Overkill, which is, you know, all weird stuff combined into one game. It's actually quite a lot of fun, have to say. It's pretty cool. Now, one of the things that we've got in here is in game settings, DLC dictionaries. We have these sort of custom dictionaries. So essentially, a zombie's going to come at you, a word's going to appear on the screen, you type the word, bye-bye zombie. Quite simple. But those words are they're all sorts of weird stuff within the game itself, and the story mode, which has got a lot of swearing in it, by the way, has got like stock ones that kind of relate to what you're currently doing at the time. But you can customize it all so that you have these different ones in here. So let's put in, for instance, Love at First Bite. We've got Shakespeare of the Dead. I've switched that one on, so we're going to have some Shakespearean text. Let's put sci-fi one on and silver screen one. Not that one off. That wasn't great. And then you can customize whether the words are going to be this list or the generic ones that are in the game itself. And you can download more. It's a riot. It's a riot. But also, it's actually quite good for testing your typing skills. So rather than go through the story mode, as I say, it's a bit saucy. Mini games though, that's what it's about. Okay, let's do victim support. And we've got this whole sort of 70s cop show aesthetic going on here, which I just think looks so cool. Right, let's bring up that on-screen keyboard and let's type away. Kinks. Okay. Got to be a bit careful with some of these custom dictionaries. Chip tunes. Jolly Roger. Jolly Roger. Now, when you're typing in this game, you don't have to put spaces in. You don't even really need to spell the word correctly all the way through. You start it, and as long as you press the correct buttons in the end, you'll finish it. And you can see some of these have different colours on, and I think that means that they're going to attack you faster and things. Tuxedo. Tuxedo. So you can just about play it like this. It's a bit of a stretch. The buttons in the middle, when you get over towards the T and the Y, are right at the edges of the hey look, I didn't choose these words. I'll have to blank some of them out if I consider them to be too saucy, but fancy as snog. I think we can probably get away with that. Okay, that is essentially the game. I will stop playing that now. Those words. Brilliant. Oh, how do I even stop the game? I'm not sure I can. I seem to have no way of exiting the game. One of the things with this keyboard, right? I like the fact they've included it because there's lots of games where you do actually have to type this stuff. But as some other people have pointed out on YouTube, wouldn't it be great if, because you have this sort of two sections, why don't you split it in the middle and have it so that you're typing on one side with one side of the keyboard and another side with another? You'll then get to be able to see a bit more of the screen. And maybe some sort of adjustable size would be good. And also, what about the function keys? I mean, this game is fine to play like this if you're insane. But if you're using things like DOSBox and stuff, having access to the function keys and some older games and things, you can't just press start and then exit the game. Like, I've tried to press start there and I couldn't do it. But there we go. So it's possible, isn't it? It's possible to play Typing of the Dead on a Steam Deck. You'd get better and better as time goes by. Someone should add like a specific high score table, talk about the ultimate handicap trying to type with one of these. So there we go. Typing the Dead Overkill. Typing speed, not amazing on the Steam Deck, but that just goes to show what is possible. Thanks for watching.